Hey everybody, welcome to another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about why I think that Bayek, the main protagonist for Assassin's Creed Origins, deserves a sequel, if not a trilogy. Now, I know that it's probably more than likely that they'll wrap Bayek's story up in some Origins DLC, but I feel as if the character is good enough to sustain himself in at least a sequel game. So in this video, I'm going to be going over everything that made Bayek's character as great as he was, and why I think that would translate well into a sequel, talking about spoilers, so the spoiler warning is on screen now. If you haven't completed the main story of Assassin's Creed Origins, then I wouldn't recommend watching this video. However, the DLCs are not yet out, so they won't be considered in this video in any way whatsoever, because at the time of recording this, I have no idea what's going on with them. So now that the spoiler warning is out of the way and the brief overview of what we're going to be doing is out of the way, why don't we get our let's actually praise a Ubisoft character hats on and just get deep into this topic. Not that kind of deep. Get your mind out of your arse. So the thing that made Bayek's character so great is his humanity. I'm not saying that because he's quite clearly a human being and not some alien thing. No, what I mean by his humanity is that he has a spectrum of emotions like any regular human would, and as a result you can relate to his feelings a little better because unlike other characters in the franchise, he has more than one set emotion. So unlike characters like Connor or Jacob Frye, Bayek was never always in one state of mind. For example, Connor was very serious all the time, he never broke from that, it was a concrete mentality of just seriousness. And then you had Jacob Frye, who was the complete other end of the spectrum, who couldn't take anything seriously, and as a result he never took anything seriously and just wanted to kill people. But Bayek's different mindset affects how he approaches certain things. For example, in some quests, Bayek might be dealing with children. He shows that he is quite a friendly guy. In a lot of quests that you might find throughout the world, Bayek does take quite a neutral stance, so he takes it seriously, but he isn't above showing his character where it's appropriate. In the main quest, Bayek can be a little bit more serious, but there are moments where he does let his hair down a little bit, considering that he isn't required to be serious all the time, but when he is in the main quest, he's very determined to do what he's doing, and sometimes he's outright pissed off, which by the way is petrifying. Allow me to insert an example.
You see this? I can read my own name, Nat! We will find you. We will find you in your sleep! Sleep. I never sleep. I just wait in the shadows, and I will kill you all. Everyone who sniffed the air that day in Siwa!
Utterly petrifying. Bayek's strong character with the vast spectrum of emotions made him easier to relate to, because through this spectrum of emotions, Bayek has a vast array of tools that he can use to captivate us as the player. Not only does he have a vast array of emotions though, Abubakar Salim delivered this performance to such a high quality that Bayek felt like the same character when he was being a nice guy as he is when he's being that scary angry man. So when you see Bayek being all playful and roughhousing the kids of Alexandria, you've got it in the back of your mind that Bayek is also capable and willing to give grown men a more mature version of the same treatment. So just like with people, we see in Bayek the good, the bad, and the outright nightmare-worthy. While the word nightmare is in play, reduce the price on those gear packs! I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. So with Bayek, we are seeing his character as he is. Not what is appropriate to the game or what's appropriate to every current situation. We are getting the full boat with Bayek. We're seeing what's good in him, what's bad in him, what makes him tick, and so on and so forth. And in a story that makes a point of character development, I feel as if that is quite important. This is a nice place to shift over into character development. Bayek as a character does progress his character quite a bit from the beginning of the game to the end. At the end of the game, he seems to be a little bit wiser. Not because he's found enlightenment under a tree outside Poundland, but because he knows his place in the world. And at the end of the game, we see the proto-assassins reach their full form as the Hidden Ones. Of course, they're not properly matured yet, because we know that'll probably fall into place a lot more in the Hidden Ones DLC, but the story shows Bayek's struggle with finding his place in the world, as well as his warpath for revenge, and on that struggle he actually finds his place as the leader of the Hidden Ones. Or at least I'm assuming he's the leader. So in the story of Assassin's Creed Origins, we see Bayek exact his revenge on the Order of the Ancients who killed his son, and at the same time we see him find his place in the world. The two things that he basically set out to do. One a bit more subconsciously, sure, but that was basically what was going on, and it came to a nice neat end. But it didn't feel much like the end of Bayek's story, but more the end of a chapter in it. Obviously the Hidden Ones DLC will be a chapter in itself, but beyond that, there might still be room. And considering how much I liked Bayek as a character, I hope there is, and Ubisoft take it to make a sequel to expand on Bayek's character even more, to show the later parts of his life and what he did there. Because he is the founder of the Brotherhood, he's not just some other assassin. He is, by his role in the universe, a very important character. I feel as if he deserves more than one game, so we get to see this character play out properly, as opposed to just seeing the most important chapter of their life. Because that's what Origins basically was, the most important part of Bayek's life. Now, I'm not saying that the parts afterwards won't be important, I'm saying him establishing the assassins was basically what the game was about. And to a certain extent we did see quite a bit of that, but there are still a lot of things that Bayek supposedly could have established that have not been established in Origins, and could do with establishing either in the Hidden Ones DLC, or even better, in a sequel. Obviously, a lot will be established in the Hidden Ones DLC, but I'm sure there will be even more stuff to be established afterwards. And that's where a sequel would be able to come in. What I'm trying to say is that there's definitely an opportunity there, and Ubisoft should take it. Go somewhere where some other stuff is happening at this time or whatever, that'll be great fun. Show Bayek's character mature even more, and see him establish more of what we know about the assassins. There is still plenty of stuff that needs to be done where Bayek is concerned, and I can only hope that Ubisoft does something with it. With regards to the games, because we all know that if they don't do it in a game, they'll do it in a comic that about 3 people will read. Which is fine, but I do feel as if for a character as important, as big, as significant as the founder of the Assassin Brotherhood, they are worthy of having their story told to the full extent in the games. And it would honestly be a huge throwaway if they weren't to go with Bayek's character in at least a sequel. Because not only is he an important character, but like I said, he's a great one. And he deserves as much recognition and publicity within the franchise as possible, so I feel as if he should be in a sequel. I'm not saying a trilogy because I feel as if that might be pushing it with Bayek, considering that he's about 40 at the end of Assassin's Creed Origins, but considering that the Hidden Ones DLC doesn't wrap everything, and I mean absolutely everything, up really well, there's definitely room for a sequel. Ubisoft should take it. If they don't, I'll be mad. Even though I know this entire video was probably based more on wishful thinking than anything else, I feel as if there is a big opportunity here that Ubisoft should probably take, as I've said loads of times. And I know I'm not the only person who would love to see Bayek in a sequel. I know loads of people who said Bayek deserves a sequel, and I agree with all of them. Bayek does deserve that sequel. So in conclusion, Ubisoft, if you're watching this, give Bayek that sequel, because then he won't have to roughhouse you as well. It's funny how the characters with the most tug on the franchise still remain as Ezio and Altair, because they had multiple appearances in multiple games. For example, Altair was in Assassin's Creed 1 and parts of Revelations, and Ezio was in Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood and Revelations. Bayek is just as worthy of being in multiple games, so Ubisoft, please. But I suppose this is the point where we wrap up the video, because I've basically explained my points to the full extent that I can now, and I feel as if I babbled on for another 5-10 minutes, I'd probably be repeating myself to the point where I'm making my own points redundant. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, of course. And I will see you all very soon with another video at some point.